Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another vlog from the Vlog Corner here. I'm your humble host, Mike Mo, here on another day, here for another video here on the 30th of 2019. Every day, here for, here for here for radio episode number 3 here on a Friday night at about 10:30. Everybody and everybody of ladies and gentlemen of the audience, welcome back to another one of these, the third one in the new series. I just want to start off right now talking about that. Today is actually a significant day. I had a day off today. I was able to relax today, and was able to relax today. But also today is my 30th day, the 30th. This is actually a very important day. Today is my 11th anniversary of working at Target. And what a grand 11 years it has been. So yeah, that's what this episode is going to be today about. I just want to talk to you guys about my employment history at Target. I've been working there 11 years today. Tomorrow will be my first year, my 11th year there. So, so back in July of 2008, I was looking for another job because I like my job I like my job at Sudbury Farms as a Pegasus front end person, but I wanted a different challenge. And there were also rumors that that I would that the store would be moving, or its rent would, or because its rent was going up, and the people who were renting space couldn't pay up. So I had to move, and I did. Signed an application July of 2018. Was accepted for an interview for August 30th. And I got the job right there and then on the spot. It was an amazing feeling to get a job on my own, even though my dad helped me. Just thank you for my dad. Great businessman that he is. Was able to teach me how to talk to them and everything. I ended up getting the job as card attendant. I would have gone to sales floor, but I wanted to start up the lower ranks. And I ended up starting from there, and I think in 2008, September 2008, I started putting the store together with them, even though I've been in the store a long time, helping my dad construct it. And I remember 2008 being, I remember we started October of 08. We didn't have much time to sprint to, we didn't have a lot of time to get ready for the holidays. The holidays came on us in about a month. So we only had about a month to prep for our sales in our store for my first Black Friday ever. It's actually quite an interesting day, actually. Then I moved out into 2009, and then I completed my first, I completed my first summer. I started getting recognition as one of the top guys there, which I still am. 2009-ish, and then going through school, and 2010, 2011, things started getting a little rough. I can remember at one point back in 2011 where I didn't think I was actually going to survive. I was actually doing so bad. I think it's because school was kind of taxing me a little bit, and um, I felt as though I didn't want to really continue, but I kept chugging, kept going, never quit. Then the August of 2011, then June and August 2011, I finally figured out what my future was going to be like um, with school and everything. Didn't quite quit. I figured out what I wanted to do and how I was going to plan it out back then. Although although I have a plan in my head, but it hasn't come to fruition yet because I need the money. And then 2012, 2013 were some of the best years we had. Were some of the best years I had because over the years I got back on track. I got my stripes back, and I was able to do well. It was also the 2012, 2013 was actually the first time I actually was at the top of my game, and I felt no one was going to really take me off it, and I rode that all the way till 2017-ish, 2018-ish. So for that brief 4 years, we were good. So I remember those were good years. I mean, they transformed me a lot. And 2012, 2013, I met a lot of the people that I know today. And then I think I met April back in 2012 briefly, and then 13, we started to know each other very well. And so she and I have known each other for about 6-7 years or so, as teammates and then as friends later on. And 16, 17, you guys know the saga if you always watch the vlogs. I think 15, 16, 17, we really learned what it was like to really be the team, and we learned about team spirit a lot and how it was like to run with the team and be good with the team. And then 16, 17, of course, I was on sales floor and I was helping them out. Eventually I got to market, where I've been for the last 2 years. 2 years and like 4 months. And of course, 16, 17, I also had the April wrist saga, and I accompanied her through that throughout the whole thing. I must have lost my mind a couple of times trying to help her out. She must have lost her mind a couple of times. I think a lot of people do when they try to do that, and friends don't like to see that happen. I can remember texting her every day and not letting go. So that's when I learned the true meaning of having a friendship in retail. And as you guys know, later in the saga, we lost it a little bit because the management started being a pain in the balls and really started being a pain in the butt. And eventually we got it back at the end of last year with some hard work and obviously some differences that we had to deal with. But you know what? I think in terms of growing pains, that had to happen because I feel much stronger now. I feel the friendship and the teammate connection is a lot bigger than it was back in, I think 16. I think even surpasses when it was back in 16, 17. I think it's because I've learned a lot. And I've learned a lot from some great people over the years. Even if the people I learned from were not very good, you can always pick up something and adapt into your own skills. So sometimes when something's bad, sometimes another person's trash or another person's some people tend to overlook certain skills. I mean, there's some people I know at work today that aren't very great, but they provide a dynamic in the store. So, and up to today, where I'm in market, where I'm trying to officially trying to tighten things up so I can eventually leave at some point, because it's come to my attention that while my teammates want to be competitive, they're not as competitive as I thought they were, and the only true competition I see is April. So, and the only reason why the other guys are competitive is because they're standard retail workers. They think just because they get two things done, or they call something out, or they do something like that, they think they're peasant. They're really not. I prefer April calling me out on something than these guys, because these guys don't know it yet, but I'm trying to test them out so I can try to figure out when I can leave or not. And at this point, my objective was to either leave when they were not competitive, or if they were competitive enough to stay in the series. I think they're competitive enough to do the work, but they're not really competitive enough for me to continue my skills. They offer some things, but they don't offer others. I'll continue to learn off their personalities, obviously, because that's, so I don't want to overlook that. But if I went vertical for a second, sorry. But yeah, I don't think there's really any big competition. Some of the guys in my can give me a little bit of a run for my money, but not long term, because at the moment I don't think anybody's patient enough. Everything's about speed and getting things done quick, when you should be doing this. And I've improved it the other day, very 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 swiftly. A teammate of mine was telling me, "Oh, you're doing this too slow," and I'm like, "It's a reason why I'm going to do this." And I proceeded to do things in a way to where, at the point where I was doing what I normally did, but I sped up a little bit. I got a little technical, see if he would follow me, and teammate really couldn't follow me all that much, because the good old noodle up here is a little too quick. While I am a little bit meticulous, a little slower than other, little, not slower. I think the word shouldn't be slower. It should be more careful and more meticulous. The reason why and there was a couple of times when I didn't do things because I wanted to see if he could pick it up. Try to test him a little bit, because even if I'm not going to do it verbally, then I'm going to have to obviously do it mentally instead. Because unfortunately, some of these guys in retail think that they're the bee's knees. They think they know everything, when in truth they have to have everything pointed out to them, and they have to see everything. And that's probably one of their greatest weaknesses, unfortunately. And I kind of sat there and I said, well, you know what? And this particular team member that I was trying to train is not as kind to people as he should be. And a lot of the workers, good number of the workers, are like that, because they're stuck in their ways, and there's nothing they can do that. But if they want to outsmart me, they're gonna have to do a lot more than that. Pretty much. I purposely left a few things out. He was asking me if I checked certain things. I didn't check them on purpose, because I wanted to see if he was watching, because I need to test him and everything. It's not that I'm trying to trick anybody. It's just I'm trying to see if I can do it. And with time, I think this team member can probably do it. But and I really didn't. And he was sitting there thinking, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Why? He's questioning all these little things. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, well, I don't want to tell him that I'm trying to lay back training him, but I'm trying to be a little bit discreet here. Because if I do give my 2 weeks, I'm not telling anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody, because I don't want to obviously do that while they're doing it. But I'm just trying to train people. I know that I'm in a good spot. I know that I just got to keep performing, keep chugging away. This weekend's probably going to be more of the same. I'm probably going to have to do everything over the next 2 days. I'm hoping April can chug and dry like she usually do, unless they're going to have her help me out. Um, so yeah, my time at Target has been good, and I think it's an interesting business. It's just that it's I'm outgrowing it. So, and me outspeeding the teammate that thinks that speeding these guys, you know, I'd rather the only person I probably can't outspeed and outmaneuver and probably compete with, but who I compete with fairly and will actually respect me is April, because she is 1 in a million. So, and I see her as the true competition in everything. She's respectful. She's honest. She's very passionate about her work. She's very feisty. She's very good. All things that make her very, very good. So I see her as the true competition. Unfortunately, what's happening is some of my teammates are trying to imitate her, but you really can't imitate April unless you know her 100% why she does things. Um, so yeah. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna end it right here. Mike Mo here for another radio show here on August 30th, 2019. Here for the third episode of the radio show. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience and people of all ages, this is your humble host, Mike Mo, here for another one of these. As usual, everybody, long live America, long live this great nation, long live democracy, long live our rights and freedoms. Pray for my friends, Tom, Megan, and April. Pray for my grandparents, and pray for all the souls out there that have been deceased all over the world and in this great country, and pay tribute to those souls and whatever else. This ends the broadcast for tonight. I will see you guys next one on Monday evening next week. Good evening, and this ends the transmission for today. And as Walter Cronkite would say, that's the way it is.